If you do everything right in your photography business, but get this one decision wrong, none of it matters. One lawsuit, one missed moment, one client dispute. And suddenly your savings, your home, and everything you've built are on the line. Hey, I'm Tom, author of the 7-Figure Photography Business Secrets and founder of Tom's World Collection, One Headshot, and Tom's Visuals. Welcome to the final episode in our series, How to Start a Photography Business. If you've been with me through the series, you already know this isn't about gear, trends, or shortcuts. It's about building something real, something that lasts. Up to this point, we talked about how to get clients, what this business actually costs, and how to price your work so you don't burn out or trap yourself at the bottom of the market. All of that helps you make money. Today is about making sure one bad day doesn't take it all away. Most photographers operate as sole proprietors by default without understanding the liability risk. They scramble to restructure after a problem surfaces, when protection is already too late. I watched colleagues face lawsuits that threatened everything they owned because they never took 30 minutes to file the right paperwork. This decision affects every aspect of your photography business. It shapes how you pay taxes, what you can deduct, how credible you appear to high-end clients, and whether a single bad day can wipe out years of savings. The photographers who build lasting businesses understand this foundation before they book their first wedding or commercial shoot. Whether you're shooting in Los Angeles or anywhere else, the fundamentals remain the same. The legal structure you choose today will either protect you or expose you for years to come. A sole proprietorship means you and your business are legally the same entity. An LLC creates a legal wall between your personal assets and your business obligations. That wall is the difference between losing a lawsuit and losing everything you own. The moment you accept money for photography without registering as another entity type, you become a sole proprietor by default. No paperwork required, no protection either. An LLC requires intentional setup and ongoing maintenance, but it provides the liability shield that separates professional photographers from hobbyists hoping nothing goes wrong. A sole proprietorship offers no separation between personal and business assets. If a client trips over your light stand at a venue, they can sue you personally. If you fail to deliver photos and a client claims damages, your personal savings are on the table. If your business takes on debt and cannot pay, creditors can pursue your car, home, and your bank accounts. This exposure exists regardless of how careful you are. A guest at a wedding reception could injure themselves on your gear bag. A venue could claim you damaged their property. A client could allege you missed critical moments and demand compensation that exceeds your business income. In each scenario, a sole proprietor faces personal financial devastation, while an LLC owner faces only business losses. The legal system does not care that you are a creative professional who just wants to make beautiful images. It cares about liability, and a sole proprietorship puts all of yours in one unprotected basket. An LLC creates a separate legal entity that owns your business assets and bears your business liabilities. When properly maintained, this separation means lawsuits against your photography business can only reach business assets. Your personal savings, your home equity, and your retirement accounts remain protected. This protection requires what lawyers call maintaining the corporate veil. You must keep business and personal finances completely separate. That means a dedicated business bank account, business credit cards used only for business expenses, and clear documentation that you treat the LLC as a distinct entity rather than an extension of your personal finances. Commingling funds is the primary reason courts pierce the corporate veil and hold LLC owners personally liable. If you deposit client payments into your personal checking account or pay personal expenses from your business account, you undermine the very protection you formed the LLC to create. Maintaining LLC protection requires separate business bank accounts for all business transactions, business credit card used exclusively for business expenses, formal documentation of business decisions, clear separation between personal and business finances. The answer depends on what you are shooting and how much you have to lose. A photographer doing occasional headshots for friends facing different risks than one booking $5,000 weddings with irreplaceable moments. Both should understand the trade-offs before deciding. Most photographers start as sole proprietors because it requires zero effort. You simply start working and report income on your personal tax return. The simplicity is appealing when you're just testing whether this business will work. The danger is that simplicity becomes habit, and habit persists long after the risk profile has changed. LLC formation costs vary dramatically by state. In Kentucky, you can form an LLC for roughly $40. In California, where I operate, the annual franchise tax alone is $800, regardless of whether your business earns a single dollar. These costs are not optional once you form the entity. Beyond state fees, you may need a registered agent service if you do not want your home address on public records. Some photographers hire attorneys to draft operating agreements, though single-member LLCs can often use template documents. The total first-year cost typically ranges from $100 in low-cost states to $1,500 or more in states like California when you include professional services. The liability protection justifies the cost the moment you have something worth protecting and face meaningful risk. For most photographers, that threshold arrives before they realize it. If you are booking weddings, the stakes are inherently high. A wedding cannot be reshot. If you lose images, miss a ceremony, or fail to deliver what was promised, the potential damages could exceed anything you have ever earned from photography. One lawsuit could wipe out years of savings. The $800 California franchise tax looks trivial compared to a $50,000 judgment. Commercial photographers face similar exposure. Contracts with businesses often include deliverable requirements and deadlines. Missing a product launch deadline or delivering unusable images could trigger breach of contract claims that dwarf your project fee. Form an LLC before you book your first wedding or high-stake event. Sign commercial contracts with deliverable requirements. Accumulate personal assets worth protecting. Work at venues that require proof of business insurance. Beyond sole proprietorships and LLCs, photographers sometimes hear about S-corps, C-corps, and partnerships. Most of these structures solve problems that most photographers do not have, at least not yet. Understanding these options matters because accountants and business advisors sometimes recommend them without fully grasping how photography businesses actually operate. The wrong structure creates unnecessary complexity and cost without meaningful benefit. S-corp is not a business structure. It is a tax election that an LLC or corporation can make with the IRS. The primary benefit is reducing self-employment tax once your business income exceeds a certain threshold. As a sole proprietor or standard LLC, you pay 15.3% self-employment tax on all business profits. With S-corp election, you pay yourself a reasonable salary and only pay employment taxes on that salary. Profits above that salary are distributed without the additional 15.3% tax. The catch is that S-corp election requires running payroll for yourself, filling additional tax returns, and paying yourself a salary that the IRS considers reasonable for your role. The administrative burden and professional fees only make sense when the tax savings exceed those costs. Most accountants suggest considering S-corp election when net business income consistently exceeds $100,000 annually. Below that threshold, the complexity usually outweighs the savings. A photographer earning $30,000 in profit gains little from S-corp status while adding significant administrative headaches. C corporations face double taxation. The corporation pays taxes on profits, then shareholders pay taxes again on dividends. This structure makes sense for businesses planning to raise outside investment or go public. It makes no sense for a photography business operating by its owner. Partnerships create shared liability between partners and require formal agreements about profit sharing, decision making, and dissolution. Unless you are genuinely building a photography business with a co-owner who shares equal risk and reward, partnership structures add complexity without benefit. The vast majority of photography businesses should operate as either sole proprietorships during the testing phase or single-member LLCs once they are booking real work. More complex structures exist for situations most photographers never encounter. Forming an LLC is straightforward in most states. The process involves paperwork, a filing fee, and some ongoing requirements. You do not need a lawyer, though one can help if your situation is complex. The mechanics vary by state, but the core steps remain consistent. Most photographers can complete the process in an afternoon and have their LLC active within 1 to 2 weeks. Start by choosing a business name and confirming it's available in your state. Most states have online databases where you can search existing business names. Your LLC name must be distinguishable from existing entities and typically must include LLC or limited liability company. Next, designate a registered agent. This is the person or service that receives legal documents on behalf of your LLC. You can serve as your own registered agent in most states, but your address becomes public record. Many photographers use registered agent services like LegalZoom to maintain privacy. File your articles of organization with your Secretary of State office. This document formally creates your LLC. Most states offer online filing, and fees range from $40 to $500 depending on your jurisdiction. Here's a quick LLC formation checklist. Search state database for name availability. Choose and designate a registered agent. File articles of organization with the state. Pay required filing fee. Create an operating agreement even for single-member LLCs. After formation, obtain an employer identification number from the IRS. This is free and can be done online in minutes. You need an EIN to open a business bank account and file business taxes, even if you have no employees. Most states require annual or biannual reports to maintain your LLC is in good standing. These reports confirm your business address, registered agent, and basic information. Filing fees range from $0 to several $100 depending on state. Missing these filings can result in your LLC being administratively dissolved. A dissolved LLC offers no liability protection. Set calendar reminders for your state's filing deadlines and treat them as non-negotiable. Understanding how legal structure connects to insurance, contracts, and financial systems creates the foundation for sustainable growth. We have covered a lot in this 5-part series. If you have watched all 5 episodes, you now know more about the business side of photography than most photographers learn in their first 5 years. The question is, what do you do with that knowledge? Creating strong work is only one part of building a photography career. The harder challenge is turning that work into a business that supports your life without constant hustle, burnout, or starting from zero every season. Most photographers, even highly skilled ones, never receive clear guidance at this stage. They improve creatively, but remain stuck operationally. Inconsistent bookings, unclear pricing decisions, scattered marketing efforts, and growth that depends entirely on being present and shooting nonstop. This is exactly the gap the Elite Success Accelerator is built to address. ESA is a structured learning environment focused on visibility, systems, and repeatable growth, not tactics in isolation. It helps photographers stop reacting to random advice and start building momentum with a clear, connected framework. You can join ESA for free. The freemium level gives you immediate access to the foundation most photographers never get, including a starter kit that explains how the full visibility system works and a 7-day content calendar bonus made specifically for photographers so you can take action right away instead of feeling overwhelmed. Link in the description. Thank you for watching this entire series. If it helped you, share it with another photographer. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this.